He actually is. My scrap. What, auto picks up? I've just been spamming E the whole time.
Kill the stranger!
They've come for us! Kill them first! Got you in my sight! Damn it! Glad that's over.
What goes to? What's that? Teleporty personal to sword. You shoot a bomb in their hand, they explode.
Be careful. I'm sure that's not the last of them.
There they are!
Get away from me. I have no bullets. I have an infinite ammo gun. Buffs. Well, granted, well, there's a lot of other alternatives, like damage reduction or bonus damage. Those thingies. Yep. Definitely. Rats? Oh, this interrupts it. Oh no, it doesn't. Timer went away.
Wow. This place is like nothing I've ever seen.
Can we see a place that looks like this? Okay. Oh, 3 paths. Who wants what? Nope. Guess I'll take this one. I dislike my choice. There's so many destructibles already. The chests look cool. I got a locked door that doesn't require a key. Well, Chris definitely didn't go this way. There even enemies?
Reloading!
Yeah, get the flying guy now in there. Why you gotta displace me, man? Ow. Oh, good. I'm on fire. Ow. Jeez. Medic. Thanks, medic. Ooh, free soup. It's a nice soup.
Damn it. I'm in trouble.
Didn't expect that. Yeah. 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 Why is he firing me? Get up, boy. Oh. Me and my dog are down. How you doing?
Not good. We got company. Thanks for that.
Did you kill the big thing? Yeah, let's not go this way. Don't you walk in there, Chris. Just don't do it. Well, it's probably a thing. We got side paths to explore, you know? Ow. Quit flying so high that you're not even in my screen. That's toxic. Yeah, I think it's a dead end anyway. Okay, yeah. Oh, I've been cursed. I don't want to be cursed. Come over there. Uncurse me, drink bacon. Save me, Coop. Oh wow, it worked. Cool. We already have it. Perfect. Pretty sure we literally have a ring called the stockpile. Stockpile charge. Break the pile of books. There is no fire. Oh, I guess there's. Well, it's on a table, you know. Unbreakable paper. It's important. Yeah, I wouldn't walk over there. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's just one page that goes on forever. The truth is that this is... Anyone else want to do it? The truth of the Ceruleans. We arrived at the Ceruleans mountain community on the 13th day of the turn of debts. Corpses decorated the cliffside roads, some no older than a few days, and the smell of feces struck us long before the village came into view. Of the Ceruleans themselves, I knew only that they were rebels, perhaps terrorists, led by a firebrand who had rejected the one true king and his laws. They reject all law, you had said. I expected them to have killed each other by now, yet they live on. You are the only one I can trust, Nimleth, the only good among your people. I must know whether the Ceruleans' defiance leads them to prosper or wither. Are they hope for your kind or despair? I'm drinking water. And so, I came prepared for objectivity, but also for the worst. For my love for you was brazen and sure. The sight of the village did little to dissuade me. Their homes are but dead branches placed into precarious piles. Their farms are little more than yellowing potted bushes and trees. The streets are virtually paved with excrement, and the Fae who live here are sad, hollow creatures. I had seen enough. These were not the hope of the Fae. If anything, they were proof of the need for law. The order to turn around was on my lips when we were attacked. Malnourished as they were, the Ceruleans overpowered us, slaughtered my royal guard, and held me to the ground with 5 spears in my throat. That was how I met Shandala. She stood over me, blotting out the sun. She was emaciated as any of her people, yet her eyes glistened. And her countenance bore a furious strength I had never seen in a Fae. I know why you're here, she said. The one true king hopes to wipe us out. I spat at her. I came to observe, to judge, but whether you kill me or not now, your actions have ensured your destiny. She frowned, seemingly uncertain what to make of me. We have only defended ourselves by murdering any delegation. Kill me too and be done with it. There is no need, for you are not like the others. She grabbed the head of one of my dead royal guards by his hair, turning it so I could see a tattoo on his neck. The Amsilla, symbol of the royal executioners. You say you came to observe, yet you travel with assassins. Words left me. I did not know they were assassins. I had thought ours to be a mission of peace, their duty defense only. After several seconds of silence, Shandala said, "Take her away." Oh my god. They left me inside a small tent. Well, I could just see it's just pure scrolling. The scroll bar isn't even halfway. They left me inside a small tent of stretched dropper hide. I don't know how long I sat there. Hours, days, maybe, or days perhaps. My thoughts were my prison. I could think of no reason for you to send mercenaries with me, let alone to keep their presence secret from me. I could think of no explanation to exonerate you. The suns rose and fell before I found strength to move. I was cold, and the smell of roast meat and canyon peppers shook me from my stupor. Stupor? I pushed to open the flap and saw a small bonfire in the center of the village. There was no guard. All the Ceruleans sat at the fire tentatively. I stepped out and walked toward the flames. Several of them saw me, yet paid me little attention. The fire did not feel like a celebration. Chub hawk meat turned on a spit, but no one sang or drank or told stories. They sat in several isolated groups, muttering between themselves about nothing. On the opposite side of the fire, two began just shouting. One drew a knife and sliced the other across the throat. Then he sat back down and wiped the knife on his leggings as though nothing had happened. No one reacted, not even to move the body. I was wondering when you'd emerge. Chandala appeared next to me. I jumped in fright, my attention fully absorbed by the murder I alone seemed to notice. She followed my gaze. Still observing us, are you? I thought I was a prisoner, I said. We don't keep prisoners. She gestured me to follow as she walked to the corpse and dragged him to the nearest slope. We don't restrict freedoms here, that's the whole point. We will not repeat his tyranny. She dropped the corpse down the hill and into the dark. The one true king is no tyrant, I said. He loves us, he protects us. From what, pray? I gazed into the dark as though I could see the corpse on the road below. From ourselves. Chandala sat on a log far from the others. She indicated for me to join her. Tell me truly, what is the one king to you? One true king to you? I met her eyes and was surprised. Yeah, someone want to take over? I just hit halfway. No, it's not. No, it is not. I met her eyes and was surprised to see sympathy rather than accusation. My savior, I said, and I told her how my uncle used to beat and violate me until the day I was rescued and placed into your service. Chandala did not speak for a time. The firelight glinted off the tears on her cheek. I'm sorry you had to go through that, she said finally. No one should have to face such horrors. I owe him my life. He set me free. Free to serve him, you mean? She placed a hand on mine. I do not belittle your rescue. That was a good and needed thing. But you are still not free, not truly. I serve because I wish it. Is that so? Chandala asked, though not accusingly. And what if you wished otherwise? Would he grant it to you? Would he let you live here, for example, free of all constraints? Or would he send his mercenaries to retrieve you? Her meaning was well taken. I don't know. I have never wished it. Yet I do, she said, and so do all who live here. And his answer were assassins. I did not know what to say to that. There must have been a reason. Her laugh came like the song of cherry doves. Oh yes, all things happen for his reasons. Is that not so? We harm no one out here yet. What is this music? Yet he will not suffer anyone to live outside his rule. What? Okay. Your existence causes others to question, I said, knowing this to be your utmost concern. He worries about those who might fall under your influence against their best interest. But not against their will. Her face grew stern, but not, I thought, because of me. He fears what will happen if the Fae question him. Yet unquestioned belief is mere dogma, and service and fear of punishment is slavery. Her words struck true, and I immediately saw the danger in them. In that moment, I understood why you sent assassins. I stared into the fire. The flames leaped past the roasted jubhawk, licking the night air with both destruction and warmth. I too was beaten and violated, she said, not by my uncle, but by my father, a member of the council. He believed he was doing the king's will, hurting me when I misbehaved, punishing the fear and the faintness within to make me good. And now it was she who stared at the fire, her eyes glistening moistly in the light. I killed him. I freed myself, but that is not how the council saw it. She turned to me, her gaze so sharp and demanding that I had to look away. You say he loves us, yet he kills those who displease him, giving them no hope for repentance. Is that how you treat one you love? I had no answer. A piece of jubhawk meat fell into the fire, sending up a cloud of sparks and choking smoke. I said nothing. The one true king believes there is inescapable evil in all of us, Chandala continued. He tries to control it, to drive it out through fear and punishment. That is not love, but abuse. Toxic. The choking smoke consumed the jubhawk. Still, I said nothing. Chandala's words suffocated my own. True love, Chandala said, her voice softening, is unconditional. It wishes others joy and freedom, knowing that the former cannot exist without the latter. That is why I fled. That's why I created this community. Here we are, free. There is no king here but ourselves. But your village is sick, I said, still not deigning to look in her eyes. The corpses on the road, excrement on the street, murder in front of your very eyes. She nodded through all of it. I know we are not good, not always, and some of us not ever. But has the king's subjugation uprooted our evil, or does it merely hide in it? Goodness cannot be forced. It must be learned, practiced like an instrument, where one has the freedom to make mistakes and learn from them. True love does not track the evils of others, it hopes for good instead. The smoke that had consumed the Jubhawk meat now lifted, dissipating in the air. Stars glittered throughout the blackness like shining festival lights. There's good here, friend, Shanala said, and more will come. Stay with us a while and see. She stretched out her hand, though I could hardly see it through my tears. I placed my hand in hers, our fingers weaving together. I did not know what I would see, for her village of rebels was and is truly sick in many ways, but I have never experienced this love she spoke of, true and unconditional. I want to try. So I return your messengers back to you, Lord King. The Ceruleans removed his tongue. I could not stop them, but I could give him this tale for your eyes alone. Please do not send another. These are my people, as all Fae are my people. I will not turn my back on any of them, least of all those battered by a system I helped to maintain. You did rescue me, and for that I am forever thankful, but my love requires more. I must discover what that is. So many pages. Where's the other book? Oh, okay. It is, okay, it's significantly less. Here we go. The Nara and the Jubhawk. It was in the days when every animal prepared for the long winter. The Hahn gathered rocks and mud for its dam. The Bushelk collected hay to spread about its den. The Nara curled up the tallest trees, seeking nuts to store in his hole. One day, the Nara climbed a particularly tall tree, a task it disliked very much, for the climb was difficult, and the branches often treacherous. When it came upon a Jubhawk lounging in its nest, "Where is your store of food, Master Jubhawk?" said the Nara. "Do you not prepare for the winter?" That smear's gonna make me go crazy. It's making too much noise. Do you not prepare... it's ruined my concentration. I have never had need, the Jubhawk said with a great shrug of its wings. But the idea intrigues me, for I see all the creatures of the forest floor right to and fro for days on end. So we must, said the Nara with a flick of its tails. Else the winter will claim us. Okay, maybe it's not significantly less. Jeez. How charming. Oh, not for those poor souls claimed, of course, but all your hard work delights me very much. Perhaps you might be interested in an arrangement. I can see how much you dislike climbing my jub trees. Your body is more suited for swimming, yes. Perhaps instead of nuts you could bring me a particular worm, one that makes it autumn, home deep within the Dropper Caves. If you were to bring me, say, 100 of them, I would happily gather the nuts for you from every tree in this grove. I can do this, the Nara straightened in delight. Fred hated climbing the jub trees very much. Swimming in the pools of the Dropper Caves was much more to its liking. I will make this deal. Eagerly, the Nara slithered into the cave, slipped into the cold pool, swam through an underwater passage, and entered a dark chamber where the only light was the glow of the cave worms the Jubhawk desired so much. There were hundreds upon the walls, and the rock was easily scalable for the Nara. Much easier than the cursed jub trees. This will be simple, she thought. It would require a full week to gather all the nuts in the Jubhawk's grove. But this will take me but a day with the Jubhawk's help. I can begin my winter's rest early. But the task proved more difficult than the Nara had thought, for the worms clung tightly to the walls, and they wriggled and slipped from her grasp during the swim to the outside. By the evening, she had gathered only half a dozen. Oh, it shall take me weeks to gather them all. I must speak again to the Jubhawk. The Jubhawk was not as understanding as she hoped. A day's work, and this is all you have achieved? You did not say the worms adhered to the rock, nor that they would squirm away at the first touch of water. It takes a great deal of time to bring even one into the sack. I've never noticed these problems. Perhaps you simply need to try harder. Anara hissed. I'm sorry, Mr. Jubhawk. Even with the nuts you gather for me, I cannot complete this task and be ready for the winter. But we had an agreement. The Jubhawk scratched his under feathers with one long claw. How about this? I will gather even more nuts, all that you need for the whole winter, but in exchange, you will collect every worm in the cave. Can you do that? The Nara flickered its tails as it calculated. The request would be difficult, but all the nuts she needed for winter? Troublesome. Though the worms were, they were far less trouble than climbing the jump trees, and she would still save time. Besides, yes, she said. Still save time. Yes, she said, I will do this. Almost halfway, and so she returned to the work, one at a time. She pried each worm from its wall and towed it through the water until she was too tired to do more, and brought what she had for the Jubhawk that day. After a week of this, she began to dislike the work, but reminded herself that she got to spend her entire day swimming in the cool of the cave rather than the heat of the forest, and her work would be done with days to spare. All without climbing a single tree, she thought. And perhaps the Jubhawk will enjoy the worms so much that he will make them the same offer next season, and I could begin winter's rest even earlier. And with that pleasant thought ahead of her, she smiled and continued her work. The days grew colder. So too did the cave pools. The work became slow and difficult. Each sunset, the Nara brought a sack before the Jubhawk and redid her calculations. No longer would her winter rest start early, but with the Jubhawk's help, she would survive the winter, and perhaps next season she could start earlier. She noticed another thing, however. Where are the nuts, Mr. Jubhawk? For surely he should have gathered some by now. The Jubhawk waved a casual wing in the air. I can gather more in a day than you can in a fortnight. It will be done. Fortnight? But she said, her slender body quivering with anxiety, the nuts will not remain forever. They must be gathered before they fall. Dear Nara, which of us lives in these jub trees? The Jubhawk's feathers puffed out as it took offense. Perhaps you should spend more energy on worms than misgivings. For this deal pleases me, and it would be nice to do it again next year. The Nara smiled at that and slipped away. The Jubhawk was right, of course. He knew his trees better than she, and next year she would be even faster. In any case, it was too late for the deal to change now. There was no time for her to collect the nuts she needed by herself. With the Jubhawk's words in her heart, she returned to her work with even greater fervor. Fervor. And by the time of the first winter, clouds loomed on the horizon. She returned with the final sack and placed it at the foot of the jub tree. Jubhawk, she called. I have the last of them, every worm as promised. The Jubhawk flapped down, clutched the sack in its talons, and flew it back to its nest without a word. The Nara waited, but he did not reappear. Mr. Jubhawk, said the Nara, a shiver of worrying niggling at her tails. The great bird poked its head from its nest and looked down. Of course, I apologize. Thank you so much, dear Nara. This arrangement has been quite a pleasure. I look forward to continuing it in the future. And he dropped a small bag from above. The bag landed nearly on Nara's head and spilled forth a mere handful of job knots, hardly enough for a week, let alone the winter. And Nara hissed in agitation. Where are the rest, Mr. Jubhawk? You promised all I need. The Jubhawk walked out onto a great branch with a sad look upon his face. I am sorry, dear Nara, but I flew here and there all day, every jub tree and every grove, and that is all I could find. All day, the Nara said. What of the other days? The Jubhawk did not appear to hear her. He said, take a few of my worms, for I surely do not need them all. And he dropped the sack that Nara had brought him that day. The Nara scowled. I cannot eat worms, but the Jubhawk had returned to his nest already and disappeared. The Nara followed it until the clouds rolled in the sunset, but the Jubhawk showed Not a feather. She returned to her burrow with the scant nuts the Jubhawk had given her. Even eating, even eaten sparingly, even eaten sparingly. Those nuts were gone within the month. It was too cold to gather more, but the Nara had little choice. She slithered far and wide in the snow, searching for any food that she could eat. But all the food had been frozen or gathered, and all the animals holed up for the winter. The snows fell, and the cold worsened, and the trusting Nara froze to death before she could even return home. Moral: trust is for fools. Moral trust is for fools. Thanks. Did you guys talk to the guys? There were two guys. Well, it looked like there were guys.
Greetings, petitioner.
I stand before the council.
This is what you are. Step to the podium.
A foreigner? This promises to be a colossal waste of time.
It lives in our kingdom, does it not? I at least am interested in what it might have to say.
What?
Hail, stranger. I am Savan, speaker of the One True King's Council. State your nature and business for the record, please.
Your nature, yes. What are you exactly? You're not one of the... well, what do they call themselves? The Dran, are you?
Hello?
I'm a human from Earth.
Neither Fae nor Dran. How very curious. Tell us more about this Earth.
Oh, Niall, you waste our time. The Fae have more imperative matters that require our attention.
Oneril speaks true. Please, petitioner, briefly state your business before the council.
Entities with great power.
You say. And why would you seek such entities?
Must defeat them to save my world, maybe all
Do you
worlds.
speak of killing the Fae?
They did not specify their prey, Niall. In any case, the Fae have been left with only political power. Not power of the kind you seek.
Unless you're both wrong, and they seek the imposter.
Immaterial! This council cannot aid the petitioner in any way. Given our current troubles, we bear neither the desire nor the means.
Move out?
What are these troubles you're having?
You have wasted quite enough of our time, foreigner. The Fae have far more important concerns than you before us.
Hold a moment, Oneril. Perhaps this stranger could be of use to us. The Fae presently live in fear and uncertainty, stranger. The One True King has been usurped by an imposter, aided by one of those seated before you, but we know not which. As an independent party, you might find clarity where we have failed. Will you help us?
I need more information first.
You are under no commitment unless and until you choose to make an accusation. That said, should you come across sufficient evidence, you are permitted, within certain conditions, to accuse one of those seated here, and this body will consider the accusation.
A great
What
tragedy,
happened? That needs
stranger.
my investigation.
For eons, the Fae and this council have faithfully served the One True King. But alas, his rule has been curtailed.
The imposter, Phelan or Feyrin or whatever they call themselves now, placed the king in an eternal slumber from which he cannot be woken.
The king was attacked in his own chambers, behind this very door. The imposter could not have entered without aid from a member of this council.
But, of course, we all have our alibis, as you can imagine. None of us were here. This has been proven many times.
If you can find any evidence tying one of us to this tragedy or to the imposter, then Fey justice might be done.
It won't be enough, Savan. The imposter still sits upon the throne.
Yet, it will be a step, and a necessary one, toward restoring order among the Fae.
You said I'm permitted to accuse under certain conditions?
It means you're not Fae, and your life is easily forfeit.
Please, Oneril. Stranger, we will discuss the conditions of your accusation if and when you choose to make one.
Why do you need an independent party?
We do not. This farce does nothing.
Peace, Oneril. The law is clear on this point, as you well know.
I will answer your question, stranger. With a traitor among us, trust has shattered. If any of us were to produce evidence at this stage, it would be suspect by all.
And rightly so. Either of you would love any excuse to remove me from the council.
And you do not wish to hold half the Council's power yourself, Oneril? You cannot pretend it isn't true.
Regardless, stranger, you are not from this world, either of these worlds. So, any evidence you bring would be free from the suspicions which we have cast upon ourselves.
Hey, no, you can trust me.
Precisely my point. This foreigner may have any number of reasons for accusing any one of us.
Which is why, if and when evidence is produced, we alone will pronounce the final judgment.
And if that evidence has been falsified, tainted, how do I know one of you has not paid this interloper to act on your behalf?
Oneril, only you assume that everyone is as unscrupulous as yourself. Not everyone seeks power at any cost.
Very well. I will judge it when I see it. I trust no one, but I trust the two of you less than this foreigner.
Why would one of you have aided the
We
imposter?
now know that the imposter approached each one of us at some point, whispering promises of freedom and power, trying to poison our minds against the one true king.
Ugh. He only said what we wanted to hear. Pity one of us listened.
Can you blame them, though? The imposter called out important truths.
Is that an admission of guilt, Nael?
If you would allow me to finish. I was saying he called out important truths that we must take to heart, despite the poison that obviously accompanied them. We would do well to address the flaws raised by the imposter. And I find it difficult to cast blame on any who thought there might be a smoother path towards doing so.
And yet that path has led to ruin. We have merely exchanged one tyrant for another.
Indeed, but our feelings on the outcome are irrelevant. This council must be absolved of guilt if we are ever to restore order to the Fae.
How was the king put to sleep?
Alas, we do not know.
There is no blood, no wound that we can see.
Not that we were able to investigate the scene fully.
At your request, Oneril. I cannot trust either of you backstabbers nor anyone you might call to serve us. Were those not your words?
Ugh. They were indeed, and the sentiment holds.
Regardless, it is unknown even what could harm the king. For it is said that no mortal weapon can kill him.
And many have tried.
What can you tell me about the one true
The king
king?
has ruled over the Fae as long as anyone can recall. He has always been a guiding force, both in our world and our lives.
Some believed he was too much of a guiding force.
More than some. Yet, look at us now. The king sleeps, and our world is spun into chaos.
Indeed, 'twould seem his life is more entwined with our world than anyone knew.
Imagine what would have happened if he had been killed.
Why can't you wake the king?
Of course! How could we have been so blind? The genius of this foreigner, who is so much more clever than all of the Fae together.
Please, Oneril. Their question is academic curiosity. The simple answer, stranger, is magic of a kind more powerful than any here have yet seen. We suspect the imposter's conspiracy went even deeper than this council alone.
Which is why we must identify which of you is the conspirator here.
What can you tell me about the imposter?
They are a monster. They care nothing for the welfare of the Fae.
Nor those of us who serve the Fae.
Nor for the law. On this we all agree. The imposter's plan should never have been carried out.
And yet one of you helped them?
So it would seem.
We cannot function like this, stranger. If we cannot root out the traitor, then this council remains impotent.
I should get going.
Fare thee well, stranger. And do tell us if you find anything interesting.
Yeah, my bet's on the left person. How about you, Chris? Chris wasn't paying attention. Oh, who did it? What do you mean somebody... Did you go down the super long hallway over here? What was down the long hallway? Wait, I mean, this is the puzzle that Path helped you solve? Where's this door one? Is this the puzzle that Path helped you solve? Where is the puzzle part? What'd you do, Chris? Okay. That's one of those. And you think if you made them all light, it would go the other way? Okay. Is it faster to run this way or the other way? Yeah, it was probably pretty equal. Now I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Or do you actually know the answer? Is that a book? No, it is not. No, it's not. It's not the same book. No, it's not the same book. I don't know. Yeah, probably. Why don't you read it? Oh, I'm gonna. My throat's gonna die. Come on, you just take a couple paragraphs. Do you wanna read the book? Sure. You don't think it's just like people keeping it particularly clean because it's other. Like if you wanted to use someone else's whistle, I don't know. Come clean it. I can't read this. How about we trade off? You know, you read a couple paragraphs and somebody else, then yeah. Yeah, just say what you see.
Take him down! There! Take him down! Let's get him! Now!
No. Are you gonna read the book? Well, I'm not gonna read the book. Hey, you get back here. Don't make me do it. I'll take your privileges away. Get back here. I'll take your privileges away if you keep going. There you go, that's $3, one for everyone. You seem to be continuing further. I don't have enough ammo for this.
Archer! Hey, watch out! Here they come!
Won't fit.
Nah, can't carry anymore.
You gotta go read a book, mister. Oh, so you can read. You didn't read a book, you read a page that had indentations and single word, two words in between. There's one word. Oh, I'll take a book. I won't take a long one though. And I don't want to go first. Well, there you go. You're on a book. That's one page. That's I press F. It's literally one page. That one's 5 pages. It's one story. And the one up there is several times longer. And probably twice. Anyone try grabbing their keys on the other side? So, you know, maybe they're double messed up. Well, they are incorrect. If I remember the names correctly. You can probably put them back. But down there is incorrect, so I assume we have to grab both sides. Middle one's Unreal, right one's Never Really, I believe. One's Savon. Savannah and Nuri might be mixed up. It's the shortest book right there.
Damn! This ain't good.
Dibs on the bottom left one. Okay, I'll go first, then you two can figure it out, you know? The Feast of the Forest King. One day, the Forest King announced an enormous feast and invited every animal of the forest, and one of you will receive my boon, the invitation said, but whomever displeases me will receive a bow, which meant a noose, for every animal knew of the king's capriciousness and cruelty. So all the animals came. The Jubhawk put on his finest clothes, preening his feathers and polishing his horns. The Hun fluffed its gills and licked its eyes cleaner than they had ever been. They licked their eyes? The Nora shed a new skin and combed its tails. Every animal presented their very best, all except the Drooper, whose coat dripped with cave slime and smelled of wild fungus. What are you doing? The Jubhawk snapped. Why have you not groomed for the king? The trooper yawned. Your posturing looks so unpleasant. Everyone is stiff and miserable. You should have at least bathed, said the Job Hawk. If the king notices you, then you will surely hang. The Droper shrugged. At least I am comfortable. The feast was served, though the king had not yet arrived. The animals praised the spread, though they ate little for fear of appearing gluttonous. The Droper, however, appreciated none of it, tearing into his food like one half starved. You fool, the feast is for show, hissed the Job Hawk. The king is surely watching. Then I may die, the Droper said. Um, Crumbs from a large piece of apple cake spilled from his mouth, but I will not die empty. Afterwards, and with loud fanfare, the king arrived and took his place at the head table. The animals rose and bowed, all except the drover, who was so full he could barely stand. He could not stand. While the others stood in front of him, blocking his view, he scratched his belly and loose a roaring belch. All in attendance gasped in horror, but the crowd was so great that the king could not see who was at fault. "Who was that?" bellowed the king. "Tell me, and you may yet live." But the animals were afraid of drawing attention to themselves. And so no one moved. But the Jobhawk feared staying quiet even more, and so, though it betrayed his friend, he raised one clawed wing and pointed it at the now sleeping trooper. "It was him, your majesty. The trooper dishonored your otherwise divine feast." The trooper snored like a wood beetle. His fur was caked with drink and apple crumbs. The king barked his name. "Wake and speak for yourself." The trooper startled awake. He looked around and saw all eyes on him, most notably the forest kings. He swallowed. "It was a good feast," he said. "I enjoyed it very much, though I may never eat again." A silence boomed throughout the feasting hall. Everyone watched the king, both excited and terrified by what he might do. Without warning, the king's head flew back, and he roared in laughter. The other animals remained silent, paralyzed in their fear. The foolish droper grinned sleepily. When the king stopped laughing, he said, "You will eat again, Drooper, this and much more. For more than any other, you have enjoyed the feast I laid out before you, and so you shall receive my boon." And the king ordered that food he brought to the Drooper's cave every day, enough to keep him fed and fat for the rest of his days. Then the king pointed at the Jubhawk. "But you betrayed your friend for a boon. You are more treacherous and selfish than any of my subjects, and so your neck shall receive a blow." And he ordered him arrested. The trooper said, "That's not right." And as the king's guards moved to arrest the Jubhawk, the trooper rose from his chair and knocked them down with his great claws. Then he picked up a fallen tree and crushed the king beneath it. "There," he said, "bows and boons for none. Bows and boons for none. Bows and boons? Bows and boons for none." The other animals cheered, whether out of fear or joy none could say, and the Jubhawk hailed the trooper as their new king, and so it was, and the trooper was, and still is, happy to this day. Moral: posture for no one, boons and bows be danged.
Not good.
Waiting for you? Or Chris? Or waiting? I'm not gonna die. Okay, maybe I am gonna die. Oh, there we go.
Oh, this ain't good.
Chaos and destruction would inevitably follow. They are a volatile deconcoction, most suited for entropy, and act best when guided towards some predefined purpose.
Can't believe it's been
As their
muted for
eternal protector and
an hour.
guardian of this
Sorry.
world, it is my life's duty to provide the world's safe harbor from both eternal threats and from the Fae themselves. It is my duty to protect the Fae from their own worst proclivities. I record these thoughts then as a history of the Fae for the Fae's own sake. For no being exists who knows them and loves them as well as I. I did not create the Fae. On this point, I must be clear, for my words may be easily misconstrued. I have watched over this world since the first mote of it existed. I am as much a product of its creation as the Fae and everything else is. The Fae came later, birth of a storm and vigorous from the start. Powerful winds leveled rocks and tree that night. Lightning struck fields and turned them to ash. When the storm passed, it left both life and destruction in its wake. I thought the Fae animals at first. Predators, perhaps, for they hunted and killed with no small skill. Yet, I watched and realized they hunted more for sport than need. They would often pounce on a kill, eviscerate it, then leave the corpse to chase the next one. It was the chase they hunted more than the prey. I do not know, nor understand, what sort of entity would create such beings. I cannot fathom the thinking of a creature so powerful that worlds to them are like songs created, performed, then cast aside to make room for the next. What I did understand was that if I did nothing, the Fae would destroy every living thing and themselves, until alone remained guarding an empty sphere. If, indeed, even I survived these predations. So I interceded from me. They learned to speak, stand, to dream. Try as I might, I could not shift their nature. Thus, I too learned from them. I learned what it means to rule the unruly. I learned that evil can only be subjugated through cruelty, and that the wild cannot be tamed if they do not wish it. Now, subjugated to them as much as they are to me, for were I to leave them for but a moment, the devastating storm that birthed them would surely in some form return. I fear that my words will be constructed as petty. Yeah, but I assure you there is nothing petty about the Fae. We long to gain wisdom. I established roles for the Fae, responsibilities, rewarding them for good performances, and punishing them for lack. This is how they learn. I thought through structure and duty, once they see their work as value, they will have be more devoted towards it. For some, this was the case. My counselor Nimu, for example, took her role splendidly. I did certain members of the council. But these provided to be some expectations. I made one architect for centuries. She crafted and most glorious structures for people. Gilded pillars and marble halls, yet she also crafted devious traps and tomes to ensnare and murder the unwary. I cannot stop her. She gloried in it. And all she created was truly beautiful, so much it was deadly as well. My chef, I encountered him slaughtering livestock and decorating the trees with their entrails. The kill was not enough for him. He needed the sights, smells, the tastes. I thought perhaps he might take to the artistry of cuisine, and indeed he did. But if I am not careful, even once I accepted a plate from his kitchen without asking its origins, I'll find myself feasting on intelligent flesh, something even that of his fellow Fae. I know, for it has happened many times. I may think these examples anecdotal and unrepresentable of the whole. Surely you, dear reader, can repress your foulest impulses. I assure you the opposite is true. For I have story after story of my beloved Fae children who inhabited their predilections only to stay out of trouble. Only so long as they believe I am watching. I need to grab water, jeez. Even good layways here would does turn, craft to diabolical constructs, tricks, and even murder when he thinks I am not looking. Yes, he laughs even as he writes this, for he knows the truth. Fae are good people, or can be, but not without one to watch over them and care for them. This has been proven many, many times, centuries and centuries. And never more than with this to those closest to me as I tell you now. All Fae are violent, chaotic creatures. I have contained each one within spheres in which they are useful. And to the most powerful were given the most critical burdens. To make the best use of their abilities, but even more so that I could watch more closely over them. For even among the Fae, a dangerous and tumultuous people begin with, there are those who pose a threat as great as storm birthed them. There's goodness of dreams, the so-called Night Weaver. Hers is a necessary task, for the volatility of the Fae permits their very dreamscapes, threatening to leak into the waking world. The Night Weaver is adapted to her own work, guiding the Fae through pleasure and passion and sorrow. I can see her true desire, and it's clearly as my own. Her passion towards fear, her taste for the darkness, I must watch more consistently. At least the Fae suffer night and day. At least she find joy in the terror. There are others, council members, who would murder the other two if she thought she could get away with it. The mixed children, the mother, one safely subjugated, one who I fear will never be. Advisor who plots against me, even now, even knowing such plots are in vain. Given half the chance any of those would grind their brethren under their heel, these are all the Fae that must remain close to me all the time. Are those accuse me of tyranny, cruelty, oppression? They are not wrong, for without an iron fist, the Fae would destroy themselves all around. Left to their own devices, they would consume everything, leaving a dying husk of suffering world collapsing in on itself. They delude themselves as if I don't know what they're plotting or what they speak about behind closed doors. Close Confident thinks I know nothing of his intentions to destroy me and take my place, but that's why he's close to me. That I know his intentions best of all. By my own laws, bolstered by power in this world, I cannot be killed, not by them, not by any means they have available to them. Yeah, I fear this one in particular will find a way. All of their, my dear counsel is very clever. If a way can be found, he will find it, and if I am destroyed, this world will not survive his rule. That is why my words must be recorded and these secrets known. There are those among the Fae capable of wisdom to see within themselves the strength to change what they find. It require a tight rein and selfless resolve, but it can be done. I pray to whatever being created us that I am not wrong in this, for if the Fae are incapable of change, then we are, all of us, truly doomed. Alright then.
Good job.
I mean, that basically told us the answer, right? Of who's trying to kill him. Alright, you go, Chris.
Trying
I'll
to
be back.
kill who?
Huh?
It was in the days when every animal prepared for the long winter. The Haan gathered rocks and mud for its dam. The Bushelk collected hay to spread about its den. The Nar curled up the tallest trees, seeking nuts to store in its hole. One day, the Nar climbed a particularly tall tree, a task it disliked very much, for the climb was difficult and the branches often treacherous. And when it came upon a Jubhog lounging in its nest, is it the turn page? Where is your store of food, Master Jubhog? Said the Nar. Do you not prepare for the? Change the page. Winter. I have never had need, the Jumphawk said with a great shrug of its wings, but the idea intrigues me, for all I see all the creatures of the forest floor running to and fro for days on end. So we must, said the Nara with a flick of its tails. Else the winter will claim us. How charming. Oh, not for those poor souls claimed, of course, but all your hard work delights me very much. Perhaps you might be interested in an arrangement. I can see how much you dislike climbing my jump trees. Your body is more suited for swimming, yes? Perhaps instead of nuts, you could bring me a particular worm, one that makes its autumn home deep within the Droper caves. If you were to bring me, say, 100 of them, I would happily gather the nuts for you from every tree in this grove. I can do this, the Nara straightened in delight, for it hated climbing the jump trees very much. Swimming in the pools of the Droper caves was much more to its liking. I will make this deal. Eagerly, the Nara slithered into the caves, slipped into the cold pools, swam through an underwater passage, and entered a dark chamber where only light was the glow of the cave worms the Jumphog desired so much. There were hundreds upon the walls, and the rock was easily scalable for the Nara. Much easier than the cursed jump tree. This will be simple. She thought it would require a full week to gather all the nuts in the Jumphog's grove, but this will take me but a day. With the Jumphog's help, I can begin my winter's net rest early. But the task proved more difficult than the Nora had thought, for the worms clung tightly to the walls, and they wriggled and slipped from her grasp during the swim to the outside. By the evening, she had gathered only half a dozen. Oh, it shall take me weeks to get them all. I must speak again to the Jumphawk. But the Jumphawk was not as understanding as she hoped. A day's work, and this is all you have achieved? You did not say the worms adhered to the rock, nor that they would squirm away at the first touch of water. It takes a great deal of time to bring even one into the sack. I have never noticed these problems. Perhaps you simply need to try harder. The Nara hissed. I'm sorry, Mr. Jumphog. Even with the nuts you gather for me, I cannot complete this task and be ready for the winter. But we had an agreement. The Jumphog scratched its under feathers with one long claw. How about this? I will gather even more nuts, all that you need for the whole winter. But in exchange, you will collect every worm in the cave. Can you do that? The Nara flicked its tail as it calculated. The request would be difficult, but all the nuts she needed for winter? Troublesome though the worms were, they were far less trouble than climbing the jump trees. And she would still save time. Besides, yes, she said, I will do this. And so she returned to the work. One at a time, she pried each worm from its wall and towed it through the water until she was too tired to do more, and brought what she had for the Jumphawk that day. After a week of this, she began to dislike the work, but reminded herself that she got to spend her entire day swimming in the cool of the cave rather than the heat of the forest, and her work would be done with days to spare. All without climbing a single tree, she thought, and perhaps the Jumphawk will enjoy the worm so much that he will make the same offer next season. Then I could begin next winter's rest even earlier. And with that pleasant thought ahead of her, she smiled and continued her work. The days grew colder, so too did the cave pools. The work became slow and difficult. Each sunset, the Nora brought a sack before the Jumphawk and readied her calculations. No longer would her winter rest start early, but with the Jumphawk's help, she would survive the winter, and perhaps next season she could start earlier. She noticed another thing, however. Where are the nuts, Mr. Jumphawk? For surely he should have gathered some by now. The Jumphawk waved a casual wing in the air. I can gather more in a day than you can in a fortnight. It will be done. But, she said, her slender body quivering with anxiety, the nuts will not remain forever. They must be gathered before they fall. Dear Nara, which of us lives in these jump trees? The Jumphawk's feathers puffed out as it took offense. Perhaps you should spend more energy on worms than misgivings, for this deal pleases me, and it would be nice to do it again next year. The Nara smiled at that and slipped away. The Jumphawk was right, of course. He knew his trees better than she, and next year she would be even faster. In any case, if it was too late for the deal to change now, there was no time left for her to collect the nuts she needed by herself. With the Jumphawk's words in her heart, she returned to her work in even greater fervor. And by the time the first winter clouds loomed on the horizon, she returned with the final sack and placed it at the foot of the jump tree. Jumphawk, she called, I have the last of them, every worm as promised. Jumphawk flapped down, clutched the sack in its talons, and flew back to its nest without a word. The Nora waited, but he did not reappear. Mr. Jumphawk, said the Nara, a shiver of worry niggling at her tails. The great bird poked its head from the nest and looked down. Of course, I apologize. Thank you so much, dear Nara. This arrangement has been quite a pleasure. I look forward to continuing it in the future. And he dropped a small bag from above. The bag landed nearly on the Nara's head and spilled forth a mere handful of jub nuts, hardly enough for a week, let alone the winter. The Nora hissed in agitation. Where are the rest? Mr. Jubhawk, you promised all I need. Ow. The Jubhawk walked out onto a great branch with a sad look upon his face. I am sorry, dear Nora, but I flew here and there all day, every jub tree in every grove, and that is all I could find. All day, the Nara said. What of the other days? The Jubhawk did not appear to hear her. Here, he said, take a few of my worms, for I surely do not need them all, and he dropped the sack that the Nora had brought him that day. The Nara scowled. I cannot eat worms. But the Jubhawk had already returned to his nest already and disappeared. The Nara called until the clouds rolled in and the sun set, but the Jubhawk showed not a feather. She returned to her burrow with the scant nuts the Jubhawk had given her. Those nuts were gone within a week, but in that time the Nara had formulated a plan. There were no more nuts to gather, but there was food for those desperate enough to find it. The Nora returned to the Jubhawk's nest and waited until night fell, and the Jubhawk took flight. Then the Nora slid up to the nest, for though she hated climbing, she hated the Jubhawk even more, and she snatched the Jubhawk's eggs one by one and tucked them away in her burrow. And then finally did the Nora have enough food for the winter. Moral: trust cannot be eaten, the untrustworthy can. Holy crap, I could have just read that last line.
It's a little different.
Never give your worms to a bird. Take his eggs instead. Damn, that sounds fucked up.
Yeah, you kind of kept your pace the whole time. Banana was reading it like a storybook and then just went all monotone like me. It's just so much information.
Yeah, if it's one page, I'll do it. I'll read all the one-page book, or the one actual page books, or just one paper. I'll read the one paper.
I want to read those, or I guess I would read those only too. Not the
I don't read it
biography
anymore.
Dictionary.
Yeah, I read more of those.
7-page freaking books.
Well, yeah,
All right,
maybe-
what do we do with these things in the wall?
You read it in your mind.
I'm gonna put them in based on what I believe their names to be.
Next time, oh wait, I guess I can't do that. I was gonna copy it, paste it into like text to speech, and let it read it for
Well,
me.
it worked.
Interesting.
A good thing I was paying attention, you know?
Well, I don't know what you did, but sure.
Oh wait, it is the right icon. Oh, never mind.
Wait, you just matched them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I was matching them to their name, but yeah, apparently I did just
So you
match
couldn't
them.
take theirs out.
Oh, interesting.
It looks like a Dark Souls boss.
Yeah, he looks kind of cool. Hey,
Yeah,
you want to make me a
this isn't
necro?
The king
Look,
that's
there's
just
purple
forever
over
asleep.
there.
I stand
my
before
face
you,
are gone.
king. Yeah, this boy was sleeping. Hey, wake up.
Hey, Just.
Ooh.
Sick parkour.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
You send me awareness.
it's an actual ring.
I could probably use that on this build.
I have no use for that ring.
When I start going invisible, I don't have to take aggro anymore.
I mean, we got.
Found something else.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm about to
count the
wake him up.
Oh my gosh.
Where was it? It was like in the back of his
In
neck.
his spine, right there at the
Oh.
bottom.
Well, I wonder who did it.
Did what?
The assassination.
Oh, well,
Huh.
apparently us.
I knew it was left.
I also knew it was left.
What was left?
Oh wait, is
Bottom of the
that
dagger.
upside down? If it's upside down, then we were both wrong.
I'm so confused.
Bottom of the dagger.
Yeah, you gotta inspect it.
Gotta inspect it.
Like the hilt.
How do you inspect a quest item?
Right click.
Aha, right here. What's that?
Their symbol. Why would they put their own symbol there?
What is this for? This was who did it? For the...
Yeah, who
People?
done it, you know? I think we might actually both be wrong, because I think it's upside down.
What do you mean?
I think if you look down, it's upside down.
I don't understand. If you look down, it's upside down. Oh.
Well, yeah,
No,
like
it's the left
reverse.
person.
What's this way?
Oh, we can't go that way.
But like, this place is already marked as explored.
Maybe this door will be open when we go back. Nope.
Wait, there's also that door.
Ow! Ooh! Ow! Ow! Ouch! Yow! Ow! I was getting on myself. Ow! Ow!
What?
Right, hurt me now.
Have you looked in the mirror?
Yeah.
So are we looking at the other side?
No, it's the same on the...
I think we're looking at the other side, boy.
But the door's closed.
The door's open over here.
That door's closed for me.
That door's closed for you?
Both doors, that door and that door is closed for me.
Huh.
Chris, get over here!
Dawn. I gotta send a text.
Ow!
I'm gonna go.
Ow!
Actually, I probably shouldn't waste my ammo, huh?
I mean, there's a thing right there. I mean, every time I heal, I get my relics back, so...
How do you have 6, Chris?
I think I have 2 simulacrums waiting.
Uh,
You can buy one
Just
from the
been
person.
putting them in. I haven't bought the upgrades that Michael has because he has like every class.
Yup. Every class that we currently have available to us. Yeah, I got 3 simulacrums that I would like to get and use.
You're gonna have big bucks for that. They're like, what are they, grand a piece?
1,500.
1,500 a piece. Well, Chris, you want to see everyone get upset?
I'll be right there. As soon as I figure out where I'm going.
You're right, it is.
Oh my gosh. Matches it.
And you can't take them. I stand before the
You're
council.
back. Have you found anything interesting of late?
I have news about who had aided the imposter.
Tread carefully now, stranger. For Fey law is strict and
I
swift.
crouch because I gotta pee.
You stand to accuse one of its highest-ranking members.
If you accuse one of us, you must have evidence, new evidence, to support your claim. The penalty for frivolous accusations against the Council is steep.
It is death, foreigner, at least for you. Swift and immediate.
I would like
Are
to see
you
you try.
prepared to make an accusation according to our laws?
Looks like the thing above us is gonna crush us.
I'm prepared to make an
Don't know whether I
accusation.
should root for the guilty to be found or for your own execution, foreigner. Either would be amusing. Proceed.
Savon!
Oh? You are aware I am the head of this council, are you not? This is a heavy accusation.
Yeah, that makes
What
sense.
proof
The
do you
book
bring?
does say the highest person.
What do you think happens if I say the proof is that you stand to gain the most?
Not good enough.
Okay, I'll
That's
give him the
simple.
dagger. I'm sorry, don't murder me.
Savon, is it true?
It is.
I knew it. I am appalled that you would cast aside the law for that tyrant.
It was for the law that I helped him. The king was a tyrant too, flouting the law at every opportunity and using us as his shields. I did not foresee that the imposter would be the same, if not worse. I submit myself to your judgment.
We will see that they go easy on you.
We will not, Nael. Whatever the outcome or her motivations, Savan has committed treason. If the law is to have any power at all, we must carry it out to the letter.
Are we gonna be able to use that dagger now?
Is right.
Yeah, you know.
Oh my.
Damn, they don't play.
Um,
I didn't realize they only had one hand too.
If
Impressive.
that's would have happened to you.
hey, can I take that seat now?
You have performed your task sufficiently, stranger. Though I fear for what this council has now become.
Come now, Nael. We have found common ground before.
Not enough.
No, you
We
can't
must
take the
move
seat. I
forward.
tried.
Stranger, take this in thanks for your service to the Fae. I should not be grateful for the death of
Hey,
any Fae, but
that
I am relieved. The business of the Fae is of the utmost importance. Please, leave us to it.
Oh.
I mean, yeah.
How do you think we open the door? The doors.
Not a clue.
Still closed.
But there probably isn't anything there, but
I mean, there's a whole map behind them.
yeah, but I would assume it's just that.
There's also stuff behind the people that are currently sitting there. How do we get behind that door?
I would also assume that it is the other side or the other map.
But it's unexplored. Alright, I guess. Mirror image land.
I mean, we could leave, come back, see if anything changes. Or just touch the stone.
Where do you want to go?
Huh? No, just
Where
touch
do
the stone or leave and come back. Don't matter.
Leave and come back?
Maybe something changes.
Okay.
Ow. You guys are waiting still? Why did we come here? Just to leave immediately?
Yes. Oh,
I probably want to
Platform.
open the door anyway.
nope. I mean, maybe later.
You think they would have us re-go through it?
Yeah, maybe we gotta come back
and.
and wake the guy. Who knows? I mean, it's a
Just get
big
over
waystone,
here.
so that means it's important.
Well, in here is a small one.
Yeah, it's small. The other one's big.
Chris.
Hi. Again, you guys are traveling? What's the matter? Oh, wait, you're going here. I thought you were hitting the crystal again. I'm getting texted and I gotta respond. I can't, man. I got people blowing up my phone.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Trying
good.
to hurry up and... Okay, not literal. That would make this easier, because then I would have no way to respond back, and then I won't worry about it.
I mean, I guess it depends on how big of an explosion.
Nope. Really changed.
Maybe the other door, you know? There's bad guys coming to murder you. Weird. Weird. Can I Google it?
No. I think it's later.
One sec, reloading!
Wouldn't let me travel with you alive.
Instead of picking me up, he killed me.
Yeah, because look at this. You know, now I can run to the stone. Which is this way.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard you wanted to return to Ward 13, finally.
Now we're going back again. Alright. Do we have any,
I got 10 grand! I'm rich!
You're rich? Damn, you are rich.
We have a single galvanized iron.
You know where to find me.
So I can upgrade my gun one time. Got it. Maybe.
I think
No,
you
I
might
don't
need
think
to.
Better be work.
Let's
What
find
did
out.
you?
Good to see.
Do I buy some lacrooms? Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're
really
right.
want to
I need
upgrade my melee
4.
weapons and stuff.
Move along, traveler. I'm a busy woman. Hey!
You know, you medic man, you might want to get the dog.
You cook the way you like.
Why?
I cook the way I like.
Oh, can't upgrade my thing.
After performing a slide? What is that?
Sprinting and then
Crouching?
tactical slide.
Huh.
I think it gives you immunity as well.
You know where to find me.
What did old Mudtooth want earlier?
Him?
This does something, I forget.
Tried to
Oh, handler and companion gain 30% increased revive speed. And while reviving, they take 50% less damage. And
Thank you
using a
with this
relic.
class.
Let
I
me
think I
just
can
notice
upgrade
that.
2 more crystals. I'm
I
gonna
ain't
go do
going
that.
back to where I came from. What can I do for... Not now. Knock yourself... Not ever.
All-seeing man who sees the present of the future. The future of the present? I don't freaking know. Anybody sell gunslinger crap
Take
yet?
care, sunshine.
You know, you remind me so much of him.
Yeah, where are all the
Unknown.
glasses? Let me buy those. What does haste do?
I don't know.
Gotta be cracked if it's worth 3 grand. For 10 seconds of it.
I mean, you have a amulet that gives you haste if you're half health. So you do that.
All right, dear. Hey, take care, traveler.
Well, sure. Take care, young'un. Don't be a stranger.
How many classes do you have, Banana?
I have
Stay safe.
4. The starting classes, besides the gunslinger.
How's the...
Because you don't know who sells the gunslinger. Oh my god, this guy has a lot of guns. Oh my god. Widowmaker.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Up, keep your gun loaded and your wits about you, stranger.
Question marks? Why does this guy have question marks? I can
Oh.
craft question marks.
Probably figure out what those are later.
Wait, you
They're
can
just-
upgrade your... Wait, what?
Why do they even show?
I didn't realize you can upgrade freaking... your
Mutators?
mutators. Yeah, what the
Yeah, that's
hell?
how you-
I thought you used them in the
They don't-
upgrade. Oh, gotcha.
Goodbye, traveler.
I need luminite crystals.
Yeah, the corrupted ones or the regular ones?
Just regular ones.
I think what's-her-face sells them. The girl you came here with. The crazy hair.
Buying them, that's crazy talk. I don't have that kind of money.
You can go farm?
I only got almost 6 grand left.
Nice. Yeah, we
We
can
need
go
so
farm.
much scrap, man.
What do I want to spend all my money on?
I've already spent it all.
Oh,
buy the
I need
3,000 ring?
simulacrums. Shoot.
Pardon?
Well, hey.
Should I buy the 3,000 scrap ring?
Are you gonna use it? Or are you just
No.
collecting?
Like,
What
you
is
know,
the
just
scrap
collect
ring?
it.
Is it just...
Come back if you need anything.
I mean, I bought all
To
the
get
classes.
more
I
scrap?
would recommend buying all the classes first if you're gonna buy
Oh
anything.
yeah, I just did that.
Oh, well then.
Alright, what other class do I need? I need medic and then
Um,
I need what?
Also, leveling up your weapons increases the world
But I don't want
difficulty.
to do that. Increases
Increases the
what?
world difficulty, which gives you more loot.
Oh, so that's why everything's easy? Because I haven't upgraded my weapons at all?
Yeah, probably.
Jesus.
I think it's the average power level of everyone.
Nice.
So...
I just don't know what kind of primary I want, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I've upgraded my pistol, but like,
So long.
what else? I can't buy it. I can't afford all the guns this guy sells.
Yeah.
So what do you have? Do you have the Widowmaker, Chris?
1 second, sorry.
Yeah, I think he has the Widowmaker.
Yes, I have that. The Widowmaker sniper, yes. I heard the gun name. Use it, it's good. If you don't mind single shot.
Yeah, that'll do.
Well,
Hit
if
crits
I
or you won't do good damage.
yeah, if I try that, I'm gonna become my old class, you know, or become you.
I mean, I want gunslinger so I can do high DPS and not single shot, but I started this so I could get to that. But yeah, so far this has felt really, really, really nice. Like the single taps are good. Your guys' DPS where you just melt stuff with insane amount of bullets. It's definitely the play I was trying to start with.
Yeah.
But I can't do that yet. I don't have that gunslinger. I have the whistle. I don't have... I'm missing what? What am I missing?
How do you know if a gun's automatic or not? I just bought
You
a
should
gun
say it,
thinking it
no?
was automatic. Where?
When you read the text? No?
I mean, like, I can tell that this gun that looks like an LMG is gonna be automatic, but, like... I don't see any words. Oh, oh, you mean like the subtext?
Yeah.
No, no, just prone to overheating. So is the LMG thing is what you have, Banana?
Yep.
Is it good?
It's alright, yeah.
How often does it overheat?
You only get 2 clips though. I have the mod that makes it overheat less.
And how does it
But
do?
it's like half, more than half of the mag.
Dude, what you look?
Yeah, I'll buy it.
Yeah. Watch your back. Don't know who to trust out there.
Okay, no, it's less than half the mag.
How do you put a mod in it? It drains super quick. I could do that. I like it. Is it accurate?
The more you shoot it, the more accurate it gets.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not bad. I mean, if you get like more fire rate, it would probably get a little crazy.
Sure. I kind of like what it's doing.
I have to like talk to someone to
We're
figure
out of
out
money.
how the hell to whatchamacallit unlock the gunslinger?
The ones. What does this do more than one? 2 threes. Well, I'm gonna go eat.
Okay.
It appears as though Barry is around, which potentially could lead to us not coming back.
Let's see if he's not Minecrafting. Ah! Shooting out here.
I'm gonna see how much damage I do to you.
There's a shooting range, but alright.
Bring themselves new stuff now.
Ooh, is it a class thing?
So an amulet and a ring.
Didn't they already do that?
No, they only sold the simulacrum last time. Does everyone sell new stuff now?
I think it looks the same,
Yeah.
personally, but... Well, is everyone good?
I'm good.
I'm going to eat, you don't have to come touch this.
I'm touching it
Wait for
anyways.
another- Is you good?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm good. I can just leave. Unless I need to... Oh, save. Yeah.
That's fine. Whatever you want. I'll be full on ammo, I guess. That's good.
We're just waiting on that weird guy over there.
I thought you didn't mean.
Okay, I'll just leave.
This guy sells a lot of rings. Jeez.
Wait, you never looked at him?
Not really. I just bought their thing and left. Class thing.